Okay, as we strive to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, we use various forms. Some they use music, some they do broadcasting, gospel music, so that at least the gospel of Jesus Christ will reach out to all corners of the world. My name is Dr. Robert. Today, we are so privileged to welcome to our program When I Grow Up, where we trace the dreams of people, their vision, their aspirations when they were young, up to the time when they are fully grown up, when we start to see the fulfillment of their vision. So today, we are privileged to come to one of the great places in Nevis, where we visited one of the great men of God who had a vision for almost 20 years, and he has been running for almost 20 years a studio. His name is Steve Huggins for Praise FM 99.3. My name is Dr. Robert. Welcome, Mr. Huggins.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes, people hear this radio, and when you are airing, you are playing, and people are wondering, who is Mr. Huggins? Some of them, they don't even know you, but you see, and people are wondering, who is Mr. Huggins? Some of them, they don't even know you, but you see, they want to know today that who is Mr. Huggins?
Well, my name is Steve Huggins. I was born in St. Kitts, grew up in St. Kitts part of my life, and then moved to Nevis. But at a younger age, I was born in Irishtown, Bay Road in St. Bastille, and grew up there and moved a couple of times throughout St. Kitts. And later on moved to this side of the island, Nevis.
Okay.
Yeah, where we used to live in the Bath area.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Bath village.
Okay. You are married?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids, and my wife is from Africa, Uganda.
Wow. So, what happens when you go? Have you ever been to Uganda?
Yes, I've traveled to Uganda back in 2007.
Wow. Yeah, so when you go to Uganda, there is this cultural difference. What do you do?
Well, because people, when you from here, the perception of Africa is different.
It's different.
And when you get there, you see it's not what people say, but it's a lot different.
So you see, you discover and see that it's not what people say.
No.
You only discover something when you get to that place.
Correct.
Otherwise, you live in a fantasy land.
Fantasy, yes.
Okay.
But it was a pleasant trip. I enjoyed
it. Was a pleasant trip. So would you really encourage other people to visit Africa?
Yes, it's a very nice.
Wonderful. So how did this vision of owning a radio station come about? How did it come about?
Well, in '96, but before that, like when I was growing up, because we, as I said, we went to the Bath area where we lived for some time, and then we moved to Craddock Road, and then we also moved over to the pasture area where they call Ramsbury. And in this pasture, there was a lot of folks, who lived there, a lot of older folks, much older than me, who could be like my dad, my grandmother, and so forth. And then I remember I had this dream.
Okay.
And the dream was that I saw Jesus in a modern tomb, and on top of the tomb,
Jesus.
Yes, he was inside this sitting. On the tomb, just sitting, And the tomb was modernized, so people go and visit, pay a visit to see where Jesus' tomb is and so forth. And on top of the tomb, TBN, Trinity Broadcasting Network, they were doing crusades. There were crusades going on and so forth, and people coming, going and so forth. And I went into the tunnel, into the tomb, when I go in there was Jesus sitting in there.
Okay.
And so we started communicating.
This in a vision.
Yes.
And you actually see him when you went in. You see Jesus.
Yes, and his face was round. I don't think there's anything rounder than his face, but you could see glares coming off, shining. You know,
Okay,
face was
okay.
shining.
Okay.
And so we didn't speak verbally, we spoke telepathically.
Okay.
You know, and I realized, as I said, it was modernized, lights and everything were in. There was this bulb on one side that was not shining. There was two of them, one on each side. And I telepathically spoke with him, said that one is not shining. And so he took the one, screwed it out and took it out, and rested on the other one, you know, the two big parts, and it started shining.
Okay.
And then that was the end of that. And so I kept wondering, what is this? What dream, what vision is this? What kind of thing is this? You know, and eventually I realized it was to go shine your light. And
But did you try to look for people to interpret this dream?
No, but I think by what I saw and what came to me by the Spirit, it is telling me that we all have a light within us.
Okay.
And we need to go and shine our light. That's
Okay.
what he was
Oh,
saying. Yes.
what a message! What a message!
Yes.
What a message! We need to go and shine.
Shine.
Okay.
Yes.
So what then
From
happened
there,
later?
later on, I was working after leaving school, as you know, it wasn't all that, you know, rich or anything. We had little money, so it was like a one parent, my mother and the three of us. Well, actually, it was two because one was left in St. Kitts, the boy. It was just me and my sister. And so she had to work and so, but then I kind of dropped out,
Okay.
you know, to help. So I got my first job building at Vaughan Radio, and so worked with one of the contractors, gave me the job and so forth. And then from there, then I just went to other jobs, Four Seasons. I think it was public works first, government, then to the Four Seasons Resort, and I worked on the boats and so forth. And then I moved from there to the airport.
To the airport.
Yeah, where I worked on planes and
Okay.
things like that. And then I journeyed to Jamaica in '96.
But the pregnancy was there.
Yes.
Okay.
Because before, I didn't
Okay.
get to the part where I used to, like, my mom would have radios.
Right.
And I would try to fix them, play around and get, you know, different things. And folks would ask me to fix. And I would fix some radios. And
Small radios at home?
At home,
Wow.
yes. Play with
Wow.
them and get
Wow.
them going again.
Wow. So in you there was that engineer part.
Yes.
In
but,
you.
but also,
As you were growing up.
Yeah, also during the time in St. Kitts growing up, I used to listen to Radio Paradise, because they used to play, you know, every 6 o'clock, 6:30, they'd have children's program. I grew up listening to a lot of the children programs, so that also helped, you know, with the vision,
inspire you.
inspire me to
Okay.
go forward. So I journeyed in '96 to Jamaica for a month, was for radio announcing and presentation.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
and learned a lot there, and then came back. And then in 2000, there was this friend of ours in St. Kitts who had a radio station, gospel, by the name of Dennis Nelson. And I went over and, you know, to see how the whole thing goes and so. And then we got a little time on the radio with him, you know, to do like an hour or so, and then eventually take it from there. To every Saturday I would go down for a program we used to call Caribbean Mix, from I think it's 9 until 1 o'clock. And I went over and, you know, to see how the whole thing goes and so. And then we got a little time on the radio with him, you know, to do like an hour or so, and then eventually take it from there. To every Saturday I would go down for a program we used to call Caribbean Mix, from I think it's 9 until 1 o'clock every Saturday.
Okay.
And the people was really loving it. It was making an impact in St. Kitts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So from there now you were working with this radio station.
Yes.
Then what then happens
Then
for
after-
you to have your own?
Yeah, after that, well, we realized because the station would be on and off sometimes, and, you know, and up and down because of technical problems sometimes. And also working at that time at the airport was kind of difficult, you know, getting every Saturday off. So I had to, you know, they would tell me, well, you can't go every Saturday, 'cause other people has to be off as well, because like a shift. And so I couldn't get off some Saturdays. And so the guy had to fill in and do the program. Then eventually I said, well, you know, I mean, it's a good thing I'm doing, but I can't do it every Saturday. I can't, you know. So I decided, well, I'll apply. Why don't I apply for a license and go and start a radio station?
Okay.
And that's how Praise FM came about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this journey, what can you say are the lessons? Let's say somebody wants to venture into this kind of broadcasting. What are the lessons? Now you registered your own and you start broadcasting. Now, what are the lessons
Well,
you
it
can
takes,
say?
one for one, it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of your time. So even me, before I even got into it, I started to program
Okay.
my mind, you know, to, you know, this is everyday thing, and
Okay.
you know, the technical bit of it, and if you're not technical inclined, you have to get somebody to handle that.
Okay.
The cost and advertising, and it's a whole lot
Okay.
inside there. It looks simple from the outside, but when you get in, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work inside it.
Okay. We are here with Mr. Huggins, and we are taking a journey through his life to find out what really happens. So now we want to find out the motivation. What was the motivation? My name is Dr. Robert, and let's get through this journey and see what was your motivation.
Well, motivation really is music. I love music. So that is one that motivated me too, because there's music, different kinds of music. You have, if you're sad, you're down, there's music that can uplift you. There's sad music. There are different kinds of music. So I love music. You know, and even growing up, I used to buy like local recordings. They would have local music. And I would, even growing up, I was a part of a band, local band. So, you know, yeah, I didn't play much. Well, I'm playing a little on the keyboard, but not much. I did on the drum, but not much. But singing, I did some singing with the band as well, and so forth. You know, but music is the one that really motivated me.
Okay, so what really happens? Do people come? Do you get sponsors? What makes this thing going?
Well, what it is, it is two parts that I've realized to the station. You have, because we are doing gospel, it's not secular. So in any station,
It's strictly gospel.
yes.
Okay.
In any station, any business like this one, you have the financial side, like the business side to it, and also the spiritual side, which is to preach the gospel.
Okay.
So you have to get sponsored, because around here in the islands, I think they don't give any. We asked, and they said that there is no, we call it well, everything is commercial.
Yeah.
So there is no non-profit gospel.
Okay.
I think you can. I don't think you get that in radio. So you have to pay to the government a fee every year for the operation. So that part is the business side of it.
It's the business side where you need to pay
yes,
the
pay the
government
bills,
for
and pay
the
your
bills
light bills
and the fees that are required for you to keep
and
on
also
going.
to equipment
And
different
equipment,
things like that.
servicing, and what have
Yeah.
you. So for people who are out there who would want to be a part of the ministry that you are doing to spread the gospel through broadcasting, what do you think they can do? What is that they can do to reach you out so that they get their programs on these?
Well, we have a website.
Okay.
It's praisefmnevis.net, because we had one with .com, but that one to the hosting or whatever. But we have praisefmnevis.net. So you can go there, you can find all the information there. Our contacts are there, all the email and the phone numbers where you can reach us.
So in case you are out there and you have a program that you have and you want that program aired, or you want to spread the gospel, and sometimes you've been wondering, how do I do it? Praise FM 99.3 is here to give you a platform, an opportunity to make sure that your gospel will reach thousands of people all in the Caribbean. So what is your message to all those who are watching you or hearing you
Well,
today?
we welcome our locals and foreigners as well, people who are overseas and have programs. Anybody that would like to put a gospel program, preaching, teaching.
So you do
that.
preaching,
Yes.
teaching, anything that is to do with spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. If you have music, there are folks that approach us and send music in via the email. That also we accept.
Okay.
You know, but there's a screaming that we do, especially for the music, so that, you know, and with some of the teachings as well and whatever we go over to me, because like we you know, some people would preach no, because everybody have there's a doctrine. And different things. But we try to keep it
sound doctrine.
Yes, and not to make it too complicated.
So you check about that.
Yes, not to make it too complicated, but just straightforward, like just plain simple gospel.
Simple gospel.
Yeah, that Christ came, died for us,
he
and
died for us.
yes.
Which is
Yeah,
simple,
just
fundamental
yeah,
principles.
because you know, don't want to make it.
So
too
you are not
complex.
so you don't entertain like people who come and preach their doctrinal, values.
Well, there's as I said, there are different churches that have different doctrine, but but in your church we have no control over that.
Yeah.
But on the ear for our
You
listeners,
try to keep it
because
sound so
yes,
that at least
the man on the
it's
street,
well balanced
yes,
for everyone.
can understand that Jesus died for him, and just give his life, and understand what you're saying, and not to make it too complicated. Because if you make it too complicated, then you just, because we have a lot of listeners, we have people who are not saved that are listening. Everybody, we get Christians and non-Christians, so we don't want to make it too complicated so that they find it difficult to understand, and then they just give up and go away. We want to be able to reach them with a simple gospel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your last message or a word of encouragement for those who are out there?
Okay, my last message of encouragement would be, as we see in these times, the Bible talks about the last days, so go into the world and preach, go into all the world and preach the gospel. And so we encourage anyone who is willing to help work with us, as I usually say, whosoever will, and so we extend that hand out there to anybody who would like to assist us in any way, whether financially, with equipment or whatever way, to help to push us. Because so far, by the help of the Lord, we've come thus far. 20 years, it's been a lot of up and down and so forth. And little sponsors here and there. We do appreciate those who have contributed and has given to the station. We have a few sponsors and a few folks, listeners that would give now and then. So anybody else who is interested and wants to see the gospel go forward, because that's what it's all about.
What's your contact?
Our
People might want to
our contact is for the radio. It's Praise FM, the number 993 at gmail.com. That's Praise FM 993 at gmail.com. And
that's the email.
Yes, that's email.
Okay, what about the
phone numbers are 1869 469 1431.
Okay.
So the cell, you can reach me on the cell also, 1869 665 8271.
8271.
Yes. And the website is praisefmnevis.com.
Wonderful.
.net.
All right.
Yeah.
So here we are. You might be out there and you want to partner with Praise FM 99.3 to spread the gospel. Sometimes when you preach to your 100 people, the gospel can only reach 100 people. But when you come through broadcasting, you are going to reach out to thousands of people who are going to hear you. So you are going to have much more bigger impact than you can when you focus on the congregation that you have. So here we are, Praise FM. Mr. Huggins is here. He can help you to make sure that he takes you to another level in terms of spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for watching. Until we meet again on yet another program. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you too.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So let's go now to just take.
Every wish come true. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. May the calendar keep ringing. Happy holidays to you.
Just about 15 and a half minutes on the hour of 10 o'clock. You're listening to 99.3 Praise FM. And we're still in the holidays, coming up on the holiday season. And we're in the holiday season, we're coming up on Christmas. Here comes Chris Rice. Let it snow, let it snow.
And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow. Doesn't show signs of stopping.